with a Tottenham update, starting off with the injury news as told by Ange Postecoglou in the press conference today. And he says, Richarlison is training and with the group again. It's about when we introduce him to the matchday squad. He's training with the main training group, which is positive. He also said, following on that, he said that he won't play this weekend, but there is a chance for him on the week. He won't play tomorrow, but there is a chance for him on the weekend.
Yeah, which we're definitely going to need him during this run because we know that we're saving basically our best 11 for the Europa League. And so we can't overplay someone like Dominic Solanke, who know how hard he works. So it's going to be very important for Rishi to fill in those kind of weekend Premier League games, those unimportant games, and we can keep Solanke on ice for the Premier League. I'm hoping that's the way he goes. So I think that's kind of really important that he is back fit at this time. I mean, how many games have we actually had both of them fit? Like probably under 10.
I think under 5.
Because at the beginning of the season we had a few. We had that little spell, didn't we? When it was literally maybe 3 or 4 games.
I think it's probably about 5 games because every time Richarlison comes back, he's only lasted about a game.
Yeah, you're probably right actually. Because there was a little bit when Richarlison played, he scored against Arsenal, had a penalty, came on against Villa, got an assist.
And then he got injured.
And then he came back and Dom got injured. And then Dom came back and he got injured. So it's been few and far between you've been able to kind of either one of them's pretty much been overplayed whenever they're fit. So
yeah,
hopefully we can have them both fit.
I don't think it's a case to say Richarlison's been overplayed this season.
Maybe not. No, he was actually, because he came back fit and then Solanke went injured. Then a few times he was playing a lot longer than Ange he said he was going to play.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he was overpaid by playing, less than 90 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, he's talking about Kulusevski and Kevin Danso as well. He said they're working hard still. They're probably a couple of weeks away, but both are progressing well. So Decky could be back, talking positively for the second leg against Frankfurt. I mean, we desperately need Decky back, man.
Yeah, for sure. We know what a massive player he is, and it's a massive blow not having him for what is a big first leg, which we know we're going to have to get a good advantage going into that second leg away in Frankfurt because they've got good home form and they're a very good team. It's going to be very loud. They've also been in that position before where they've won Europa Leagues not so long ago, so it's going to be very, very difficult. And someone like Decky, who kind of holds on to the ball, he's strong. He's one of the leaders on the team as well. It's a big blow not having him for that first leg. Touch and go for that second leg. We'll have to wait and see. Maddison will have to step up in the midfield in that time. Danso is also a big blow because, again, similar to the Richarlison thing, it means probably one of Van der Ven, Romero might have to play again on Sunday against Southampton potentially.
Well,
and
say
other
that.
games.
We still have Davis, Archie Gray who've been filling in there.
I know, but is he going to want to play Gray? Keep playing Gray there? Now,
I don't see why not. He's been doing it all season.
We haven't had a choice.
I know he's had to all season, but I don't think he has a problem putting Archie Gray at centre back, particularly against the likes of Southampton.
Maybe Southampton, but maybe going forward. Hopefully Danso is back sooner rather than later. As he had a couple of weeks, so maybe it's similar in terms of touch and go for the second leg against Frankfurt. But we need him back as well because, again, we don't want to overplay Romero and Van der Ven. We know how that's caused injuries. So.
Yeah, I'd say Romero, Van der Ven play on Thursday, play tomorrow night. Give one Romero played 2 games out in Argentina and looked brilliant in both those games. So I don't see why Romero can't consistently play these games.
The only difference is it was Thursday to Tuesday, wasn't it? And this is Thursday, Sunday, so a bit less break. But yeah, I guess why not? Or maybe again they could play half and half or something like that.
It's Van der Ven which is the issue, right? I think Van der Ven doesn't play against Southampton, but then plays on Thursday, on both Thursdays.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are the injury issues going into the game tomorrow. Talking on Fabio Paratici, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out, and now it looks like he is most definitely out, as Daniel Longo says that AC Milan are expected to finalise the agreement for Fabio Paratici either today or tomorrow, and DiMarzio says that Tottenham's Fabio Paratici will join AC Milan. A verbal agreement is in place for him to become the new sporting director at the club, and we've already heard rumours that Antonio Conte is linked to the AC Milan job now as well.
It's all coming into place.
Yeah, Sky Sports reporting as well that Fabio Paratici has a verbal agreement now with AC Milan.
Which obviously is a big blow because we wanted him to rejoin our ranks and we wanted him to do what he was doing before in terms of his wheeling and dealing and getting deals done and all the contacts he has. And unfortunately, he's not going to be doing that for Tottenham anymore, which is a massive shame. It's a big coup for, I would say, for AC Milan. And it's a club that's been in the wilderness for a while, to be honest. I know they'd won, or did they win the league not that long ago, but they've not been going in the right direction, going from manager to manager as well, not been doing great. So I think it's a big coup, and I'm sure that they see this appointment as a kind of pathway to get back to the top of Italy.
Yeah, massive sleeping giant in Italy, one of, if not the biggest club in Italy historically. So Fabio is obviously going to be chomping at the bit to get ready there, but I think it just signals like him not believing in the Tottenham project, because we kept him around for so long in a consultancy role, kind of stuck by him in this kind of like when he got his ban, and then he's back and he doesn't want to rejoin the club. I think that just shows maybe him not believing in the project, really.
Any chance of some a bit of a consultancy side hustle for him on the side for Tottenham?
Would love it.
Any chance? Any chance? No, nothing. Yeah, it's a shame. It is a shame, but we have to move forward. But what does it mean for, if you're like Johan Lang and you've been reading these reports that they want to bring Fabio back, but now they're kind of, I guess they're forced to stick with him because Fabio's turned them down and gone to AC Milan. But does that fill you with confidence if you're someone like Johan, who's like, does he maybe feel like he's under pressure or feels like he's not fully trusted if they're looking other directions?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we don't know what roles they were. I mean, you assume that would be the sporting director role and he'll be the main guy here. But from my understanding that they've been working together, he's been a consultant for Lang anyway, like during this time, so I don't really know.
I've also heard that Paratici didn't want Lang to stay if he was to come. I heard that. I don't know how much truth there is, but yeah, I don't know. I wonder how that changes the dynamic, but we'll see. But we'll have to move forward with Lang unless we go in a different direction.
Yeah. Fabrizio Romano broke this morning, and it was later officially confirmed by Tottenham Hotspur that Callum Kulusevski has agreed to join, sign a 3-year deal at the club. It's all completed. The agreement takes Kulusevski up to one of the highest earners in the academy after his Europa League debut. And I mean, in the little minutes that he did have so far this season, it was
Hoffenheim away, wasn't it?
Hoffenheim, and did he also get minutes in Elfsborg? No, he didn't get minutes at Elfsborg, did he?
I think it was just Hoffenheim.
Maybe just, you're right. It was just Hoffenheim. He came on in the latter stage of that game, and I was actually quite impressed with what I saw. We haven't seen him since then, I don't think, but definitely a talent, that's for sure. And obviously, you can only sign a professional contract once you turn 18, and he turned 18 earlier this month or on the latter stage of last month.
Which is great. And obviously, he's been in a few matchday squads without getting game time, but obviously shows the belief we have in him, and another talented youngster, hopefully, that can make his way here. Probably in line for a loan deal, I would say, in the summer. It's somewhere in the pyramid, and hopefully we can see what he's all about at the higher level. But great news for him, delighted for him, and hope to see more of him in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So big up to Callum Kulusevski, and well done for earning your first professional contract. Court Offside are reporting that Porto will demand the full £100 million euro release clause for Samu Aguhawa amid interest from Manchester United, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Tottenham and West Ham this summer. We've spoken about it a bit over the last month or so. Top talent, showing his quality, but if they are going to stick to their guns and they want a £100 million release clause, I think that rules Tottenham out.
I don't think anyone's going to pay that much. I think he's a great player, don't get me wrong, and I think he's got bags of potential, and actually probably could be a £100 million player one day. Maybe people could spend that money based on the fact that in the future he might be, but right now I don't think he is that. So I don't know if anyone's really going to realistically spend that much.
You say that, but Man United spent £75 million on Højlund.
That is true, and it didn't exactly go well though, did it? So yeah, I don't see anyone really going for 100 million for Aguhawa, but I can understand the interest from all these clubs, because I think this guy has got bags of potential. When he's so young, the physicality of the guy at this age is really very rare to find. So I think I believe there is going to be a host of clubs looking for him. I think Chelsea probably kicking themselves they didn't get him in the end, but I can't see 100 million being the price.
Yeah, I could potentially see Chelsea doing it though. Like someone like, I know Chelsea aren't part of this list, but I can see like a club like Chelsea doing that.
Give an 8-year deal.
Yeah, exactly. 8-year deal, 100 million transfer fee. But they're probably one of the only ones that would actually go and do that. Next up, we're going to talk about Deki. Tutto Juve say that Antonio Conte has instructed Napoli's hierarchy to push to sign Deki this summer.
I don't know if they'll have. I guess they did sign Kavisha. They did sell Kavisha, so I was thinking, well, would they have the money to sign him? But with the Kavisha money, you'd say they probably do have a bit of money to spend. But I don't know. I don't think Decky goes to Napoli this summer. I think he'd probably stay at Tottenham ahead of going to Napoli. I would say. Maybe if a bigger club came in, maybe it'll be a different story. I don't think Napoli
talking about
sways him.
Let's say, for argument's sake, that Napoli do have the money and they put it down on the table for Spurs. Like, where's Decky's head at that point? He knows, he plays well. He can get. Conte knows he can get the best out of him. You're talking about Napoli under Antonio Conte, who are a team that are fighting for big things. I mean, just Spurs aren't that.
Correct. They're fine for big things at the moment, but Conte's second season, European football added, doesn't always go so smoothly. We saw that with Decky when he went when he was here with Conte as well.
It's true, but even before Antonio Conte, they won the league.
Even before Antonio Conte, they won the league. Yeah, but Osimhen's going to go. Kavisha's going to on his way. He's done brilliantly to stay at the top. Obviously, it doesn't look like they are going to win it in the end, but they are fighting at the top. But whether he can keep that up, I don't know.
Even if they're just playing Champions League football, it's doing more than what Tottenham are doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously depending if we win Europa League, but yeah.
And next up, we're going to talk about Cuti Romero again. Edu Burgos says that Atletico are starting to accelerate their move for Christian Romero, who is a priority for Simeone. The defender is open to the idea of living in Madrid. And I thought I'd just bring this one up just for jokes. Steve K of Transfers.com, I don't know if you've seen this one, says that Aston Villa boss Unai Emery wants Cuti Romero in a statement signing for the club this summer. Villa are willing to offer Romero a 5-year contract. Spurs are open to selling, but value him at £55 million. Spurs sources say that Tottenham are already searching for a replacement. Cuti's going to Aston Villa.
Stay in your lane, Villa. One season in the Champions League and you play Billy Big Bollocks and go for our best player. Absolutely no chance now. And also, the amount it's going to cost them, if they're not in Champions League, they've got enough financial trouble. There's no chance. I don't think he'd even go there anyway. So I don't think none of that deal makes any sense to me whatsoever. The only bit that does make sense is that I'm sure Unai would want him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he would. No doubt about that. But I don't think anyone else would want the deal, to be honest. In terms of Atletico, though, I've said a number of times, I think that deal has legs. It makes so much sense on every part. So, it doesn't surprise me. They're tapping him up. They're getting him ready for the move. And I do think, especially if we don't win Europa, I think it's bound to happen.
Yeah, I think even if we do win it, there's a good chance it's still going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Last but not least, we're going to talk about Richarlison and Razia Simplicio of Goal Brazil, who is supposedly a tier 1 source, says that Richarlison's future appears to be away from Tottenham. Spurs are ready to listen to offers for the Brazilian in the summer. Richarlison would prefer to stay in Europe, but he will listen to any proposal because most of all, he wants to rekindle his best form.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be an important thing because he needs to basically be a club where he's just playing consistently and staying fit. And if Tottenham have kind of lost trust in him at this point and we would rather move him on, then he needs to feel the love again. He needs to go somewhere where he's the main man. And look, I know even in Brazil, he might feel like he'll diminish his chances a bit of getting back into the Brazil squad, but there are players in that Brazil squad that do play in Brazil. It's not like completely out of the question. If he's there and smashing it,
plenty.
Yeah. So if he's there and smashing it, there's no reason why they would definitely not consider him. I agree. If he's smashing it in Europe, he's got a better chance. But still, if he's in Brazil and he's there playing week in week out and he's scoring goals for fun, then they'll definitely look at that. So even if that's a possibility, I think I would consider it. If I was him, I'd consider it. But obviously, I think Europe should be a priority for him.
Yeah, for sure. And I do think there will be offers from European clubs for him. And I think even club like Everton. I've said it many a time. I think Everton should be going back in for him. I think he would be a great sign if them go back to fans absolutely adore him. He'll feel the love there. And you see, even at a club like Wolves and Everton and clubs like that, if you perform well there, you'll get back in the Brazil squad. Half the Brazilian squad is pretty much from Wolves.
Yeah, it's true, exactly. That's a good point. So, yeah, I completely agree with that.
All right, well, that is your Tottenham update. Let me know in the comments section below your thoughts regarding all the news topics we've spoken about today. And now it is time